3 Reddit scary stories. Zombie movies got it all wrong. I pulled my hair into a ponytail, racked the balls, and was just about to break when Laura told me the news. Wait, you're infected? I asked. So the doctors tell me, but I thought you were vaccinated. 3 shots and a booster. Then how? I prayed she was fucking with me to throw me off my game. There are so many anti-vax dipshits out there that the zombie virus keeps mutating. The vaccine can't keep up with all the new strains. Assholes. Tell me about it. You look okay? This strain turns you slower, so it's harder to detect and easier to spread. That's a bitch and a half, I said. Remind me not to split a beer with you. Or make out, Laura said, and I tightened my grip on my cue. Laura and I have been best friends for ages. I've always wanted to be more, but I never knew how to bring it up. So, I said, lining up my shot. So what? So how long until you start craving brains? 1 month, Laura said, and I shanked my shot, skidding my cue across the felt. I think I misheard you. You didn't. But I mean, Jesus Christ, Laura. That's soon. That's practically now. I'm aware. How can you be so damn calm? Because I'm already dead, she said. No point in getting mad about it. 1,000 things to say crossed my mind, but none of them came out. I used to love zombie movies, but I think they got it wrong. In zombie movies somewhere, a siren goes off, and that's it. The world's over. Blink and you'd miss it. The real world isn't like that. The real world is ending so slowly that nobody cares. All we can do is sit back and watch it happen right in front of us. Right as I was about to say something, right when I was going to tell Laura how I really felt, some loser from the bar offered to buy me a drink. Not interested, I hissed. Don't be hasty, he said. I even have a buddy for your friend. We could double date. We're gay, you idiot, Laura said, which probably surprised me more than it did him. He grinned and said, You just haven't found the right dick yet. I'll straighten you out. I should have let it go, but I was overwhelmed, so I shoved him. Shit! He fell and spilled his beer. You owe me a beer, you stupid bitch. Here, Laura said, take mine. Before I could even think, he took her beer and chugged it. You sluts deserve each other, he said, and left to go annoy someone else. Then the tears started. Hey, what's wrong? Laura asked. I think I love you, I said between gentle sobs. But I never had the guts to say it. I wanted to kiss her, even though I knew it'd kill me. I know, I've always known, Laura smiled. Now let's shoot pool. Cornbread. The cornbread is burning. Alma May stood with her hands on her hips in her kitchen, squinting at death with a mixture of annoyance and impatience. Nobody likes burned cornbread. Her drawl both elongated and shortened words, and there was a power in her voice that age had yet to diminish. With a huff, she retrieved the tray from the oven, with little more than a threadbare dishcloth to protect her calloused fingertips from the heat. It was a graceful movement, unconsciously perfected over so many decades. Turning off the oven, and without so much as a glance in Death's direction, she jerked her head toward the kitchen table. Sit, Death obeyed. Still deep in the bowels of the kitchen, Alma hollered, Now I usually like to let 'em cool, but I have a feeling now that you have places to go, and we're not fixing to stay here too long. A withered woman, her joints twisted by arthritis and her movements slowed by pain, shakily made her way to the table, a plate in each hand. Her thinning silver hair was neatly styled, and her soft rose-colored lipstick was flawlessly applied. Her apron was old but spotless. She placed each dish down on the tablecloth, the embroidery of vines and roses long faded by sun and wash after wash after wash, and gave a little sigh as she settled herself in a chair whose plastic cushion protested only slightly under her tiny body. Best damn cornbread in the state, if you ask me. I won an award for it at the county fair. Blue ribbon, I swear it on my mama. Rest her soul. Death knew. It was a knockdown drag out between her and that stuck-up plumber's wife back in 1985, but she had come away victorious and crowing. Modest was never a word that suited Alma May. Go on now, eat up. The top was golden, with the slightest hint of a buttery crust on top. The inside looked to be the perfect texture, neither too light nor too dense, and the crumb was neither too moist nor too dry. Steam rose, filling the air with an earthy sweetness. The way I make it, you don't need no jam or butter or nothing. It's good enough on its own, all by itself. She was right. It was exquisite. A taste that could be imagined and explained, but would never be able to be more than the palest shadow of the experience itself. A few minutes later, the plates remained, but their contents had drastically changed. One was empty, and one contained a slice rapidly being colonized by mold and decaying into liquid, both pieces consumed in their own ways. At this, Death stood, discreetly wiping away a few crumbs before taking Alma May by the elbow. Slowly, they walked toward the door together. "My family's ascension. Are you guys ready?" the counselor asked. Mom nodded, and my brother hugged his teddy tight. Our family had been chosen for ascension. The program had been devised to combat overpopulation in a world with more than 60 billion souls. It was the church that had divined the global solution to let less fortunate souls access heaven years before natural causes could claim them. No strings attached, only an ongoing global draw to select the winners. Millions of families had already entered heaven. "Can we ascend together?" Kip asked. "I'm afraid not," said the counselor, ruffling my little brother's curly hair. "This chamber's designed to accommodate only one person at a time, but it'll be quick. Close your eyes, and on the count of 3, you'll be together again." "Can Teddy ascend too?" "Of course." She booped the stuffed bear's nose and beckoned us closer to the sleek golden chamber. We'd been instructed to think of our heart's desires. I'd made a huge mental list. To be with my family, to see Granny again, lots of ice cream. "I'll go first," said Mom. Her voice was strained. The counselor helped her inside the chamber, just wide enough, just tall enough to stand upright, repeating prior instructions. "Close your eyes, say your prayers, and keep thinking of your heart's desires. I love you." Mom was keeping her composure, fighting off tears. The door began to close. "Mom!" Kip rushed inside the chamber, clinging to her leg. But Mom went pale. "Get out!" she screamed, trying to yank him off. Kip started crying, and the counselor relented. "I think it'll handle 2, she told Mom. "If you prefer, the oldest child can go first." Mom looked at the armed guards behind the counselor, sent me a defeated look, and held my brother tight. The door then sealed shut as their ascension began. It is difficult for me to describe what happened. There was a faint hymn, a choir perhaps, and a hint of golden light and warmth that radiated out. The door swung open to reveal the empty chamber, and the counselor beckoned me forward. I stepped inside, and my heart beat fast as the door closed, sealing me in. A choir's voices filled the chamber with song. Bright golden lights appeared all around me. And then there was a blast from beneath, an explosion that rocked the chamber. I tumbled, and my leg caught in a steel trap door that failed to open properly. It felt like hours before someone pried the door open. An old technician, surprised to see me. He looked over his shoulder before pulling me out. "I'm sorry, kiddo." The man nodded towards an emergency exit, his voice dropping to a frantic whisper. "Run!" As I raced out of the church, I overheard 2 adults arguing. "Think she brought a concealed bomb. Blew up the entire damn furnace." I ran like hell from heaven,